Hello, I'm Jim Martins, and in this second video I will show something about the templates, how they work, and how they can be used in combination with the Ultimate CMS, or why they are very important for the Ultimate CMS. As you can see, here's already one template created that has already been used in the last video. Without direct mentioning it, but after installation there is no template created, so we will start with the same steps you have to do to create your own template. Click on Add Template, give it a name, let's say default content categories, so we want to use it for contents and categories. We have show widget area, let it be all the way that it is here. What does that mean? That a sidebar is shown, which is called widget area, and default dashboard configuration means that the configuration under community dashboard configuration of the template Ultimate CMS here is used for the widget area. So these boxes here are shown. Yeah, that's about it. That's all we need to do. Default WCF menu should be clear what is meant by that. Let's start by adding a content. We have here the default mode and the custom query. Custom query gives you many options. Here, just for a few glimpses, you can fetch the content of a specific page. You can say you only want to have contents from specific categories, or only contents that are not in the categories in combination here with the category mode. Only contents from certain authors. You can determine the number of contents per page and the offset, so how many contents at the beginning will be ignored. And here the sort field and sort order. By default, it's the thing that you have configured under options that we've shown in the last video. Now let's go with display, the most powerful options you have here. Hide titles hides the titles, as it says. Content body display, well, if it's on default, it's the most powerful thing. So in combination with featured contents, it shows. No, not shows, but it determines if a content is shown in full length or truncated. But you can also say show full content, and all contents that are applicable are shown in full content. Excerpt, every content is shown with an excerpt, and hide content body, then the bodies of the contents are hidden. The pop-ups explain detailed what is meant by these options. Hide inline edit should be self-explanatory. Right now it still has a bug in there that this option doesn't really make any difference if you click it or not, but that will be fixed by the time you see the video. So don't poke your head around that. It's just a side notice. Alright, meta determines what is shown above and below the content. If you've configured something in the options, this will be shown here. In our case, we haven't, so simply insert the same things that we've inserted in the options video, date time and author vcard, and submit. Now we've created our first block. Let's go for manage layouts, where we can attach the templates to certain layouts. There are the 4 main layouts. These must have a template attached. After installation they have not, so our first step to do is create a template, attach it here, and then you can go on. You won't, in most cases you won't need more specific things that you can hear. This will be sufficient for most of the cases. So one template for all categories, one template for our pages, one template for the contents, but you can go through each content and use a specific template for that. So if you want it, you can give every category, every content, and every page a unique template, but most cases you won't need it. So let's give a default content category for contents and category here. Click on submit. So the content categories are now using our new created template. Go to the front end where we already have a category listing. Let's reload. And it shows, oh yeah, one featured content, one truncated content with datetime, and author vcard. This is the inline edit. Not much, but sufficient. It opens up what you see is what you get editor, where you can configure it. But you can only change the content of the actual language. So if you have a multilingual content, then you can only change here the text of the language that is currently used. So if you have, for example, German and English, and you just here have English, as you can see, everywhere everything is English, so you can only change the English version and not the German version. To change the German version, you would have to go to the ACP or change your user interface language to German. But if you have to do this, you can also go to the ACP. So basically, it's useful to correct small things here and there, but it cannot replace a proper session in the ACP. Yeah, now let's see with this example how these settings have influence. Here we can say, here we can see a category listing, recognizable in the address bar. It starts after the index.php part with a category. This is fixed, and after that the slug of the category. If we now change in list templates, let's say we want our block. Hello. Thank you. We want 0 featured contents, which is equivalent with only show excerpts. But what's interesting is if you have 1 featured content and you click on show excerpts, then it shows no featured contents, because this setting show excerpts overrules the featured content settings. Alright, if we say full content, then every content is shown with its full content length. So as you can see here, we have 1 featured content in the setting, but they're both are shown in full length. And to see well, that the effects are on that the same template is used actually for really these 2 pages. This is now the content directly accessed, and by default the comments are only shown if you access a content, but this can be changed too. So you can say comment visibility always, right? So here it won't change, but if you go on the category listing, it would show the comments as well after every content listed. What you can also do, what might be very useful for a category but not so much for content itself, is to say we hide the content body and have comments visibility automatic. That way only the titles are shown. Only the titles with the above content, meta above content, is shown. If you have many contents, this could be useful. That way you can simply directly go to the contents that you get as a result. And you don't have to scroll down so much. Problem is, if you have the same template for both, even if you access the content directly, it only shows that. But you can use 2 blocks. This is the power of it. And let's say the first one only shows the titles, but always the comments, and nothing else. And the first block shows never the comments and shows the full content whenever appropriate. And if we now reload it, we have here now two blocks. The first block is responsible for this. The second block is responsible for that. And this is especially interesting if you are on a category listing, because now you really have the first block that shows all the contents with their texts, and the second block shows the titles with a comment area. This is the widget area on the right side. So if we configure here and say, what can we see? We can see the tickler is at the very bottom. So if we put this at the very top and save the sorting, then we can go here, reload it, and see, wow, tickler is at the top. So this is now on both things, because the template is responsible for both. And you can see it uses the WCF menu, which can be configured here: appearance, page menu, and list menu items. If I now say I want to have the members to be at position 2 in a safe setting, and I go here and reload, then, well, members are here, form is there. This is well, very powerful. There's one more thing you can do. You can add a media block type. For this, we were going to do now a YouTube search. So that we can include it. Let's just say Shroud of the Avatar 3-month demo. And we copy, and here say with video, like it says, we copy it in, we say it's video, well, let's say application extract by Flash. But like it says, if you embed it from a hosting portal, this setting is irrelevant. I just set it now to Shockwave Flash, but it doesn't matter. Media height, embedded media will be resized to that height, so let's just say 480 and media width 640. Alignment center. Alright, now we have a media block, which we can now position between these two blocks and go in our category listing, and better said, this is not the category listing, but we can go one further and see now really the difference between the first block and the second content block. And in the middle we have our nice embedded video, which in the moment has a problem, but that comes rather from something that I don't know right now, but that will be fixed as well. But it shows how the media block generally would work. Right. So if you have video directly accessible, you can do that pretty easily. But if you have it via YouTube or so, you can just have to enter the link. There's apparently a problem, but again, by the time you see the video, you should be able to repeat the steps without problems. Thus far, thank you for listening, and catch you next time in the next video, where we will go more detailed on the differences between contents, pages, categories, how that all works together. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.